From the Arcade Couch, the best place to get your gaming goodness each and every Monday from now on in 2023. My name's Don Blight. Joining me on the couch this week, Ashley Hobley.
Hey, Dylan, excited to be here, but did someone forget to dust his couch off before we got started?
Wait, Ash,
Yeah.
I told you to put the white sheet on after we finished last.
I don't recall that.
We specifically said to you.
I feel like that was something that was maybe edited out, and and thus I didn't remember it to do it.
I mean, how dusty could the couch get in this, a month?
In this economy. I think in a month it could get very dusty.
Yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
All right,
Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah.
You know, if anybody has a couch they just want to leave undusted for a month,
Yeah. Let's see how it goes.
give us the feedback.
I'll see you, Kieran Merchant.
Hi, it is I, the gamer of the group.
As you said that, you're like, what the fuck am I saying?
This was a mistake.
Yeah, you're like,
Why are these words coming out of my mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just let
That's
it
a weird
go.
thing.
Sometimes it works, sometimes not so much.
That's fine. So this is the first official episode of Arcade Couch for 2023.
I will say,
3?
you've committed now to an arcade couch every single Monday for the whole year. You've now committed that.
Well, I mean, I don't feel like once we're back, we're good. I don't feel like we ever.
No. But what if on the days we move it to a Tuesday because of we move it around because of news?
That's fine. That's fine.
You've now fucked us. And now the audience.
There was an asterisk on the words when they came out on now.
I don't know. Anytime some online community break a promise, they actually get more successful. So I think it's fine.
Good point.
That is,
I should
what?
start
It is
breaking
true.
more promises.
Getting cancelled is just good publicity. You just make a comeback a couple weeks later.
Right? I just wanted to leave that sit there so I think that went. Of course, all of our best of 2022 coverage is now up on explosionnetwork.com/best of 2022.
Whoa.
Check out our best games articles, best movies, best TV shows, all those sorts of things. And then if you missed what we picked for best game, there was the episode prior to this one on the feed where we're discussing it. Spoilers, it was Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lammy won that one. So check out all the best of 2022 stuff, of course. The other thing I want to get into before we start going over other stuff is, of piece housekeeping, is The Last of Us HBO series started
Monday.
Last
well,
week,
this comes
a
out
week ago.
so a week ago. My time is this comes out Monday. It started last week. Me and Ash have a spoiler cast for the first episode up already. We'll have a spoiler cast for episode 2 up tomorrow when you're listening to this.
Where?
On the Platinum Explosion, #1 PlayStation podcast in the Oceania's podcast feed. So there will be a spoiler cast for the TV show up on that feed each week alongside the normal episodes of your PlayStation podcast. Kieran, though, have you watched it?
I did, of course. Yeah,
I was like, you're the gamer, right? So,
exactly. I've actually played the game. And,
that's fair.
Somebody else in this call.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think?
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. I loved it to bits. I think the exciting thing I've had with this weekend, I've mentioned before, I like watching react videos and stuff on YouTube and just watching people interact with things I love. I love watching people, I like seeing people's reactions who have never played the game, have never experienced the story, have no idea what they're getting into. Because, watching them, especially with this first episode when you know pretty much everything that's going to happen. Of course, there's bits and pieces, but the main story beats that are happening in it. I just have my fingers crossed. I hope that there is an excessive amount of Joel moving Ellie around on a pallet and floating water a lot. That'd be nice. I'd be slightly pissed if that's all been cut
There
out.
needs to be at least one scene.
Needs to be at least one
I
scene.
can't swim.
Yeah, 100%. But no, I adore it. I think they've done this great thing where they've made it its own in many ways. They've kind of explored the characters and improved upon them. I think, it's interesting how they've paid homage to the video game, but at the same time made it its own standalone thing. I love the conversation discourse, the stuff around, why the spores have been taken out, and just reading the Neil Druckmann article about, how scientifically inaccurate the masks are for the spores. So the spores are kind of dumb, so they made the right choice to remove them in the TV series. But also, who wants to put a gas mask on anybody's face in the series in high grade acting? Then again, there is the Mandalorian, which is kind of the same thing.
Yep.
He's Pedro Pascal's like, I can't do 2 shows where I'm just in masks the entire time.
No, but no, I love it. I love how they've adapted it to fit into like kind of the opening scene. I absolutely adored with the 1968 interviews. Like I thought that was really interesting, and how they've adapted it. And I'm excited for more of it. I'm excited to see how they go. Knowing that the runtimes got leaked with episode there being another at least 1 or 2 80-minute episodes coming up. I think it's really interesting. So I'm really excited. I think finally there's a video game TV show that is real, like, live action that we can potentially be proud of. Yeah, that's why I amended it, because there is, of course, your Edge Runners, there's your Sonic, there's all of that shit. But it's nice to have something where it is apparent that everybody involved has paid a lot of attention and love to the video game and to the original.
Sort of hard not to when one of the co-creators of the show is the dude who did the video game. So.
Yeah, but at the same time, people have...
You want
Very
to
good
say,
show.
Yeah. I was going to say, I talked about it a lot, so I'll just say, yeah, good show.
Good show. It's probably the episode of television that has been the most podcasted about, I think.
Probably, yeah.
Because every single video game show podcasts about it, and then every single movie and film TV show podcasts about it. Yeah. I would recommend the official Lost of Us podcast.
I'd recommend Platinum Explosion.
That too. Well, that would do after you listen to Platinum Explosion.
Yeah. Use that as like a companion podcast to Platinum Explosions.
Make sure you listen after us, because then when we make all these crazy ideas about what they did and why they did it, then we don't sound so dumb if you listen to us after them explain why they did what they did.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. All right. Let's get into the actual show. Let's start with Hey Bean, Kieran, what you been playing? Hey Bean, what you been? How you been and what you been?
I decided to kick 2023 off in a way unlike any year before, and continue to actually be good at Overwatch 2. It's pretty. I'm pretty cracked in many ways. I'm having a good time with it. I played a little bit of Breath of the Wild. Probably
you had 3 weeks to finish it between when we recorded the Best of podcast.
I think it was like 2.
It was like 2.5, nearly 3 weeks.
It was 2. It was 2. It's like 2 and an extra weekend. I played around with it and I put a decent amount of time in it. I just got to like a 4 stealth section that kind of sucked, and then just haven't got back to it. I will go back to it. I'm away from my computer for the next couple of days, so I'll be taking my Switch. So
where you going?
Probably play it then. Just house sitting for my sister on and off while she's out of there.
Will you be okay?
What do you mean, will I be okay?
Are you going to have, like, Overwatch withdrawals, or?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I have this, even though it's for, like, only a day or two, like, I have this, I almost want to take my PC, because she lives in...
Yeah.
Well, she lives...
She got better internet.
In, like,
she's got that better internet. You're like, I can go up a couple of ranks. My ping will super...
Yeah.
I'll find out if this ping has been holding me back this entire time.
Well, technically, I'm playing Overwatch better than I ever have before, so maybe even higher without the ping issues. But my internet drives me fucking insane. It hurts. I saw my ping get to 1,000 the other night. That was fun. But that's the tempting thing where I'm like, how much effort is it going to be to
too much
effort?
PC? Way too much.
Take my monitor off the stand, put it on the other stand. I'm probably going to do it, eh?
But how many ranks?
That's a lot of effort for 2 nights.
How many extra ranks will you get in this one season?
Look, I could.
I hate everything you just said, but yeah, you'll probably do it. So Looking forward to hearing about that and making fun of you at the same time.
No, probably not, because I'll probably break my computer doing it, and then I can't podcast.
How far a drive is it?
It's only like not that long. It's like 15, 20 minutes.
It's funny, like, so 15, 20 minutes and the internet goes from terrible to good.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's going into an actual
Australia.
town. It's going into actual Shepparton, where they have wired internet, you know?
What's the speed limit on the main road?
Average 80.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not bad.
Ash is like, his lips are twitching. He's like,
it's like, I was like, if it's like 100 and something Ks, like in between, it's like, that's pretty far.
It's not 100 K.
100 bridges.
No. It's what?
No, if you were going, if the speed limit was 100 in between.
Oh, okay. I was
that would
100 Ks traveled in 15, 20 minutes. Man, I'm breaking some land speed records.
If you're going at 100 kilometers per hour, how far will you travel in an hour? Oh dear, Ash.
Yeah.
I
finished Midnight Suns. It's a great game. Fantastic game, as we've just discussed. And I finished God of War Ragnarok. Fantastic game. We've discussed it. And then there was just a lot of Marvel Snap, which is still a fantastic game.
We've discussed
Can't complain. There's like 3 fantastic games.
Yeah. You played 3. So you played 3 games that made our best of 2022 list.
I did.
Cool.
There was an element of powering through towards the end on both, like, those 2 games. So, especially on God of War, I feel like I've missed a lot. So, just like,
probably there's a lot of
the map,
but
like maybe on a save file from earlier in the game.
Okay, fair. There's a whole area in that game, like an open-ish area that most people miss. So,
is there where?
I can't remember exactly the location, but like if you look it up, there's an entire area like that most people miss where there's like all these like specific battles and shit happening.
Oh, you have to take the boat.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in that place where I was last left off. I'm in that place.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
I mean, if you don't take the mission, there's no way you could find that section. So
no, but it's just funny how much like stuff's hidden.
Just follow that dog.
Yeah. Yeah, so I too have been playing a lot of Marvel Snap every day. I'm snapping. That's just my life. That should be a podcast. Let's do a Marvel Snap podcast every day. I'm snapping. Surely someone's done that already. Every day I'm snapping. That's surely a podcast.
I mean, I like we've been playing for this 6-7 months.
Yeah,
I feel like only now I'm really seeing a lot of like hardcore like meta sites kind of popping up on my Twitter feed and that kind of stuff. So.
I started following a few. The main one I follow is I think it's Marvel Snap Zone. That one.
I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the one that I follow.
I'm not doing any of this meta shit. I'm just putting these cards in the.
Well, that's just sometimes they'll be like they'll post like an article. They're like, "Here's a fun deck idea." Like it's not meta. It's just like. Like there was one yesterday that I've been playing for like the last couple of days where someone just posted this article and they're like, man, this deck's a real asshole. Like it's just got all the like this is Green Goblins and all this. It's just about fucking pissing off your opponent. I'm like, that looks fun. Give me a go at that. Like, yeah. So yeah.
I hate armor. That's my statement.
Why? Because you have a destruction deck?
Destroyed it, yeah. It's like every single, especially anytime there's because all the new, I feel like all the new locations recently have been ones that destroy or merge or do different shit, and then everybody's playing armor. Yeah, fucked.
I'm saving up at the moment.
It needs to be something that I can do to destroy armor.
My no, you can. Well, you can put whatchamacallit in your deck that kills her ability, ongoing ability, or steals an ongoing ability. That gets rid of it. Yeah, you don't need to kill armor. You just get rid of the ability.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah, I'm saving up at the moment. I want to get. I'm at 3,000 of the 4,000 gold without spending money to get the Devil Dinosaur thing that's in the store at the moment.
The Savage one, yeah.
The Savage one. I'm like, yeah, I'm down for that. If I can get 4,000 gold, yeah. I got like 2 days left. I'm gonna get close. If I get close enough that I only need to spend $8, I'll spend $8 for it. That's fine. I played a game enough. I'm not against spending money on a game I play that much. I'm just against spending the amount of money they want for the majority of the fucking
the $150
Yeah, the $150 fucking
bundle.
Like, get the hell out of here. If I'll spend $8.
Good for them. If somebody's willing to pay that much, I mean, props to the developers. They should make it hidden a little bit more, though. I think in case like little kids
just like press buttons.
Push it. Yeah,
but that's your fault. But as usual, I haven't played that much on my break. I barely. Anytime we have a holiday break, of course, I come back and I'm like, "Yep."
That's not true. You've played like 24 games.
Not quite, but so the only thing that I have put a decent chunk of time into is everyone gets what arrived. Dylan's got his Playdate. Dylan's got his paperwork.
Where is it?
I've been cranking out.
Where's your paperwork?
It's got my little case on it. Yeah.
Huh?
Wow, it is that time.
Look, it's showing the clock. It's a good thing you've got no other digital device that would show clocks.
Hey, that's nice.
It's a very expensive clock.
Yeah, it's a very expensive clock.
So
show us you cranking it.
You crank it.
Crank that soldier boy. Yeah.
Crank that soldier boy.
Oh.
I don't think this is safe viewing.
Yeah, this is an FFW. Oh, you see, it just folds into this little.
Is there tension to it, or is it just like?
No, it's got something to it. It goes into this little hole there. So I've been cranking it. I have an article up that I'll be updating, which is the main thing. So, of course, explosion.com. It's called, at the moment, it's called In Progress, but it's titled Playdate Journal, ranking L24 Playdate Season 1 games. So, the idea is that I will eventually have all the games ranked and my thoughts on them. So, I like the way they do this, because this is the thing that I was worried, and if there was a way to get around it. I don't think there is. Maybe there is. I don't know. But so, when you get the Playdate out of the box, it doesn't matter if you got it literally launch day fucking 2 years ago or the start of 2023 like me. Everyone has the same experience, which is that you're getting 2 games a week. So 12 weeks.
I thought because you got it so late that like the whole catalog would be.
Nope.
Oh wait, so you start from scratch when you get it. You don't. That sucks.
I like it. I think that's cool.
That fucking sucks.
No, I like it. I kind of like it.
It just means you're just eternally behind everybody else getting content that people have already had. Like,
no, that's not. If you want to view it that way, but that's not how I view it. I'm viewing it as it's this fun little experience. What happens is they'll literally because I'm in my set. By the time this comes around, by the time this releases, I'll have my new games because they come out Mondays. But when you turn it on, they will appear on the main menu as little presents. And you click on them, and it's like does a little unwrapping animation, like, oh, here's your two new games thing. So, so when you get out of the box, I'll just go over what games I've got so far. I'm probably not going to talk about them all every week on here because you'll get sick of me talking about the Playdate. So I'll just go over what. Oh yeah, that adds up.
Gosh.
So what I'm doing on the article is I'm doing it week by week, talking about the games, giving them our Explosion Network go-to rating, which is out of thumbs, so the thumbs up rating, and then down the bottom of that article, I'm just ranking them as I go in like my 1 to 4, 1 to 24, or whatever as I go along. So currently, the games I played, the first one's White Water Wipeout. I gave it 1 up, 1 down. It's fine. It's a very simplistic game that I think is good to play out of the box because it explains it gives you a good idea of what you're in for. Like the whole idea of this console is it's meant to give you this 80s sort of arcade feel in your hands. It's meant to be this tactile experience. It's not meant to be anything like a game you can play on your phone or your Switch or anything like that. So you've got this surfing game where all you're trying to do is get a high score and survive for as long as you can. You don't use any of the buttons on I should explain, by the way, for people who don't know. So other than the crank, which everyone talks about and we all make fun of, it does have a D-pad and it does have a and B button. So it does have other buttons. So in the whiteout water game that you Wipeout, you just turn the crank and you just turn it to make the character rotate. So the whole idea is you like turn it and you surf forward, you follow direction, you just try and do tricks in the sky using the crank to get points and survive as long as you can and dodge sharks and stuff like that. It's fine. Next game that you had on launch, this one's really good. I've been having a great time with this one. It's called Casual Birder. So it's like a RPG, Earthbound inspired type, like walk around, talking to people, doing the sorts of things. It's got funny sort of characters and dialogue. It's very charming, surprisingly cool character designs and stuff like that. It has a lot of personality for a game on the small screen. Music's really nice as well. The way this game is, you walk around, you're talking to people, you're a photographer, you're trying to get pictures of birds. And to get the pictures of birds, you got to solve little puzzles, like talk to people, give them items, do things like this to get the birds to come out, and then you snap photos. This game uses the crank to a minimum, which is fine. I don't think all the games need to use the crank as a like must thing. So all this game uses is like you press B to open up a camera. It'll like the camera will appear on screen, and then you use the D-pad to move the camera around to find the bird you're going to take a picture of, and then the crank's just your focus. You're just turning it to focus the camera. But otherwise, it's just you walk around the D-pad, talking to people, doing sorts of stuff like that. So, yeah, I gave this one double thumbs up. Really been enjoying that one. Then we get to week 2. So then 2 games you got. The first one was Crankin's Time Travel Adventure. Double thumbs up for this one. This one is really, really good. So this is actually the first game from Kita Takahashi since 2019's Watam. Of course, he's the dude behind Katamari Damacy. So this is the game they showed a lot of in the lead up to Playdate's release, because it had like a known big sort of developer behind it making this game. So they showed this one a lot. At first, you're like, what the fuck is this game? But it's quickly becomes just really addictive. Like the first time I was like, oh, I'll just play it for 5 minutes. Next second, I played it for like an hour, not an hour, half an hour sitting here. So all it is it's a very simple puzzle game where they just build on the mechanics over and over and over. You play as this character who just wakes up every day late for a date. So the first level, it's literally just every level's like first date, second date, third date. And all you do is you turn the crank, and as you turn the crank, the character moves across the screen like side scrolling. But then, like, you can stop him in time. So, like, the first level is literally just turn the crank, he gets the date late, she fucking slaps him, next level. Right, cool story, you're late to the date. Next time, or you'll go through, it introduces, like, as you go past these flower beds, he stops and sniffs them every time. You're like, okay, that's weird, whatever. Go to the third level, suddenly there's a butterfly, like, flying up and down. I don't know why, but if you hit the butterfly, you lose. Game over. You got to restart the level. I don't know why.
Deathly allergic to butterflies.
Maybe he's allergic to butterflies.
Deathly allergic.
But that's when they like introduce this whole sort of the time part of the game. So as you're cranking along, what you got to do is crank it to that point in his animation where he bends over to sniff the flower bed. The butterfly will keep moving in time, even though he's frozen. And then once the butterfly's gone past, you continue cranking. So the game just slowly introduces these mechanics like that. I mean, there was literally one level where I walk out of the house at the start, I'm just cranking at normal speed, fucking horde of about 100 pigs just start running from behind the house and just kill you. I'm like, what the fuck? So for that level, you literally just have to like crank at 1,000,000 miles an hour to outrun these pigs. So it's sort of ridiculous. And then there's other ones where you'll have like many of these butterflies going up and down, but you got to do like, not only do you have to time up the sniffing animation, but then there's also like hurdles he's jumping over, but you have to like make it so he jumps and then freeze when he's mid jump over them. So the butterfly goes under. Like it's actually, this is probably one of the best sort of puzzle design ones for the mechanic, so far. So this is really, really good as well. And then the next one, I don't have much to say about. It's called Boogie Loops. I gave it double thumbs down. It is, in my opinion, a not good music sequencer. So it's not a game, which is fine, but it's a very basic music sequenizer where you move around using the D-pad, you click A on a bunch of spots, and you can design 8-bit, 16-bit tunes or whatever. Fine. The game doesn't use the crank at all, which is weird to me because I'm like, crank, cool. So surely you'd be able to turn it to do like DJ, like waka waka, like something. I don't know. Nothing. So I was just like, I don't really understand the point of this. It's very, I got nothing. So that one's double thumbs down. I'm never going to be touching that again. So yeah, at the moment, my ranking is Crankin's Time Travel Adventure at number 1, number 2, Casual Bird at number 3, Whitewater Wipeout at number 4. I've got Boogie Loops. And then check in if you're interested. I'll be updating that article every week for the next couple of weeks as I continue to play my Playdate games. And then as much as you are going to meme about it, I do not regret my purchase. I'm having fun. Like they're fun. They're unique.
You didn't regret your Mario
games.
Kart Live. You didn't regret your Mario Kart Live purchase like the first couple of weeks where you had it. You were setting it up, but you find it now. It's fucking covered in dust, and fucking Mario is not like Let's Go. He's just all about Let's Stop.
He's out of entry, so yeah.
Because you don't charge him because you don't use him. So
the one point I will say is what happens after I'm done. Now, they're working on a season 2 of games, but my thing is going to be, and people are they release the software to make games yourself, so people are able to make games for this and upload them for free and all these sorts of things. I'm like, is that a route I probably want to go down? That sounds like too much mucking around for me to care, so probably not. I'd be definitely interested in a season 2 of games where they just deliver it to me for free, but like, I'm definitely going to be playing it for the next 3 months. I'm going to be playing it at least every week to play games, but it's also on design. It's not meant to be a console you sit there playing for hours. It's meant to be a like pick up, go, quick play sort of thing. So, but it's cool. I like it. It's fun. Very quirky. Not for everyone. It's not for you, Karen. All right. It's not for you, Mr. Hardcore fucking Overwatch player. It's for people like me who like good games, quirky games. Right? 2 reviews that went up. In the time we've been up, 2 reviews to start off the year, I guess. So, I put up a review for Lone Ruin. I played this on the Switch, is also on PC. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I said Lone Ruin is going to scratch an itch for those who love chasing high scores and trying to one-up friends. The twin-stick roguelike elements are solid, but the game is going to tickle the fancy of anyone looking for either story in their roguelikes or a sense of progression. You'll often see in modern roguelikes. Of course, I feel like for most people who are looking at this, you're going to be like, is this Hades? Is this going to scratch a Hades itch? No, it will not scratch a Hades itch. It's a... Combat-wise, it's... Like, if that's... For most people, I feel like that's all they need to know. Is this going to scratch my Hades itch? No, cool. I don't care. I'm not interested. So, it is a roguelike, but you carry nothing forward. There's no interesting story. It's a relatively short game. It takes like 2 hours to beat, I think. The combat is decent. But like, there's nothing, there's just not enough meat on the bone here, I feel. So like, it's decent for the time you play it, but yeah, I don't feel like people play. In fact, I feel like the funner mode, like there's a story mode, quote unquote, or whatever. And then there's like an endless mode where you just like get dropped in a big open area dungeon and just see how long you can survive with enemies coming in. That was more fun because it was just like the combat of the game and you just got to do it. Like, I was like, I kind of prefer this to the roguelike part, but then the other review that went up was Jacob published a review for Goat Simulator 3. He said, overall, Goat Simulator 3 is a game aimed at chaos and fun while not perfect. Hits those beats often, much like its predecessor. There is lots to discover that needs to be added to the minimap. While the missions are fun and there's always more to do, the game does have its downsides and could use some additional work to fix those. In saying this, I enjoy my time of the game and overall will recommend it to my friend group for games night. So yeah, this is the sequel to Goat Simulator 1 and they skipped 2. And they went to Goat Simulator 3 because reasons. I haven't played this, but I did watch on after he sent through the review, and his review started by mentioning that Goat Simulator starts with homage to Skyrim. I was like, what? And I went on YouTube and looked it up, and yeah, the game just starts with you like fading in on this back of a tractor, like a fucking goat. I was like, all right, that's kind of funny. This is a bit silly, but yeah. So they're the 2 reviews we've got up so far. And then I wanted to separate them going forward throughout this year. So 2 other things we haven't reviewed, but here's your quality critics. I need to have like a theme. I need to do a theme song, come up with a theme song. Here's your quality critics section for the week. So Fire Emblem, what the fuck's it called again? Fire Emblem Engage came out this past week, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So it has a quality critic score of 8. Most people seem to love it. I feel like the thing for this one that's been interesting, so the lowest scores from Checkpoint Gaming saying, despite the fun I have Fire Emblem Engage, I'm left with a sour taste in my mouth from its story, which is Fire Emblem's weakest in recent memory. So, and then the other people who are loving it, I can't really find a good call. I guess like a Survivor game. After dozens of hours trapezing around the world map of Ilios, I found myself pleasantly surprised with what I found. The shift in tone and style helps set the game apart from what came before, and new mechanics bring a fresh of breath air to combat while paying tribute to other games that came before it. So from what I've gathered in everyone's reviews, people that don't like it are really disappointed that the game cut back on the social aspects of the previous game, while the people who really like it are happy it cut back on that stuff and have got really good gameplay.
All I've heard from the bits I've read about it, because I've been tempted by it, like to pick it up, like, as in Kieran's fashion and style, is that you're stepping away from 3 houses and returning to a more linear format, as well as the more linear, like kind of not linear, but rock paper scissors like combat that was in the original Fire Emblem games. Like it is gone. I don't want to say backwards, but it's definitely changed its playstyle again from what I think made Three Houses seem enticing. So I've actually looked at it. I've always been. I think ever since I've played Persona all the way through, like Persona 5, I've been tempted to play Fire Emblem. Royal. Thank you. Yeah, it is a superior experience. But I've been tempted to go back and pick up Three Houses, and at this point I'm like, okay, do I play Engage or do I just go play Three Houses? Because Three Houses sounds like more of my jam and my overall.
Three Houses is Persona, but Fire Emblem. So
yes,
but strategic RPG.
Yeah. Instead of turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
Do you want to go over the next one, Ash?
So I also collated a bunch of reviews for One Piece Odyssey. So it has a quality critic score of what is it? 8.5. Generally pretty positive. It was a nice split amongst all the critics of like people who are newcomers to the series, and then a lot of One Piece fans. A lot of if you're a fan of One Piece, I think this is a must play from what I've gathered. Just because it has a story in which you can go back to important moments in One Piece and replay sections. It utilizes the entire crew of the whatever the name of the ship is.
That ship, yep.
The Jolly Roger.
Jolly Rogers or something.
Jolly Roger?
Something like that.
Wait, that's me.
Don't trust him. He doesn't know the difference between Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, the Straw Hat Pirates. So, I mean...
the Straw Hat Pirates. But what is...
Yeah, so you get to kind of play with everybody and they all utilize very well. For newcomers, there seems to be varying points, like whether it's a good entry point or not. But yeah, it sounds like a solid open world action RPG. But no, it's turn-based RPG, but it has some interesting gaming mechanics where you can switch crew members in and out and that kind of stuff to get the best possible attacks in and that kind of stuff. So,
I was really surprised with this one to see the review so positive, to be honest, because not only is it an anime game and they usually just review poorly, and mostly people go, they're okay at best. Like 6 out of 10 seems to be like the best these games usually get. But I remember seeing the first trailer and I was like, this just looks like a very bland open world sort of thing. But everyone's saying it's really good. So there you go.
I mean, One Piece is a massive franchise. So
we're getting Netflix this year, right? That should come out this year.
Netflix, yeah. Looking forward to that. It's going to be great.
Nope, no shot.
No,
that's not going to be. No, it's not.
I'm pretty confident. Those sets look pretty fantastic.
It's going to be about as good as Death Notes and Bleachers.
We will have a One Piece Odyssey review at some stage. Jacob is playing it. Didn't get review code to the launch day though, and it's an RPG. So
here's my question though. I haven't asked you like off the air. Should we amend the quality critic score once we put our review up?
I feel like once we do ours, we should. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that's fine. Like there's no world like in which I feel like it's like, well, what if we start reviewing higher or lower to affect the quality critic score? It's like, that's not a thing. It's not a fucking serious enough thing that Ash.
Yes.
Fucking Skull and Bones. She's gone done her again.
She's gone and done it again. She was scared again.
Send her off, boys. 07s. Let's send her off, boys. She's going down.
This is an immortal game. It just can't die, because Ubisoft will get sued into bankruptcy. So they have no choice but to keep delaying it.
I feel like it should die.
I feel like they should just put it out and take their lumps.
Yeah.
Just rip it and chip it, boys.
Yeah, if it goes out, you can cancel it very quickly after.
I feel like the problem is they need Ubisoft not only delayed Skull and Bones, but they also put out this thing saying they'd cancelled 3 other games. We don't know what they are, but 3 games that we didn't know anything about. And then Yves Guillemot put out this thing saying, despite excellent ratings and player reception as well as an ambitious marketing plan, we were surprised when Mario Plus Rabbids sparks our hopes underperformance in the final weeks of 2022 and early January.
That's fair.
Just Dance 2023 underperformance. Now, if you look at the numbers of these games, they sold decently. What they're saying is they undersold for what they reckoned, and the numbers that they wanted were obviously way too high. Like they
yeah. Who do they think they are? Square Enix?
Yeah.
having these high expectations of their game numbers.
Yeah, their targets for the fiscal year ending, they've now dropped in the press release they put out. They've dropped what they want to hit by 14%. So they're like, oh fuck, our goals are a bit too high. So, but either way, I think they need Skull and Bones to be a success. So they're at the level of commitment to this game where I don't think they can just push it out and have it be terrible and just die a week after release. Like they need something off this game. They've put too much time and effort into this at this stage. So, it's funny because it reminds me, I've finally been listening to, I know this, I should have done this ages ago, but I've been listening to Jason Schreier's, his first book, whatever that was called, Pixels and Blood and Pixels,
Blood,
whatever
Sweat,
it is.
and Pixels, yeah.
I've been listening to that on Audible for the past week, and one of the games he goes over in that is Destiny, which is quite funny because that's probably the game I remember. Like a lot of games he talks about, I wasn't paying enough attention to the game industry at the time. But then when he starts talking about Destiny and Witcher and more things that I'm actually aware of, and I remember like reading news stories about and all this sort of stuff, I was like, it sort of reminds me because in the lead up to Destiny's release, nearly everyone was expecting that game to just be shit, and it came out and they turned that ship around so hard. But yeah, such a rocky release, that game. But yeah, so good luck to that. I don't know. We're still going to get it, apparently, I would say in the next, they may have only delayed it by a month. We haven't got a proper release date, so don't know. In other news, Suicide Squad kills the Justice League, or Kill Justice League, whatever it's called. Apparently it's got a battle pass. Apparently it's going to have a lot of interesting.
Well, apparently it's a game for service. Yeah.
Apparently it's game for service. So this article, this screenshot leaked on 4chan, the best place to leak things. But then VG247 in their article said that they confirmed it and said it's legit. It's not some fake 4chan bullshit. So, but in the screenshot you can see a battle pass. You can see a tab to buy stuff. In a follow up by this, Andy Robinson, who works at what's it? I've already forgot. Is it VG Chronicle? No, VG Chronicle. Yeah. He said that context was that the battle pass is only for cosmetics. The character and stuff you can buy is mostly cosmetics and stuff like this. But still, I find it very fucking weird. Like I feel like if the game comes out and it's very good, fine, and it's still good. But I am sort of on the side where I find it very weird to have a battle pass in a game like this that's just for cosmetics. I'm like, why? Like, what's the... what?
Can we tie this story into one of the other stories you've got kind of later on? Because I think they're two... Retroactively, they're very close to each other now, with this being DC's version of it compared to Marvel Avengers
bring that up,
being closed down. Or being announced to being shut down, the service for it at the very least. Yeah.
So I'll quickly tie that in if you want. I'll just go to the key facts. So, this morning, as of recording on Saturday, Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics announced that Avengers is coming to a close. So March 31st will be the last update. That'll be 2.8. After that point, they will still be supporting the game, like with small updates on, I guess, emails if you get logged out or whatever else until September 30th. At which point they're done with the game at September 30th. You're like, that's it. To the point that the game will be removed from digital stores. You won't be able to buy it anymore at all. You'll still be able to play it with friends. You'll still be able to play it yourself. And if you find a physical copy of the disc and stuff like that, you'll still be able to play it. But it will go off stores. After March 31st, all the cosmetics in the game are going to go free. So that's everything from costumes to emotes to whatever else you can get in that game. Anyone who spent money on those, not getting any of it back. Too bad, too sad. Everyone else is getting it for free. Any credits that you have in your game when March 31st rolls around will get turned into a, depending on how much you have, to units, fragments, upgrade modules, polychrons, and DNA keys, wwhatever any of that means for someone who's played the game. But yeah, and the most important part is Spider-Man will continue to be an exclusive character on PS4.
Because that went so well.
So,
yeah. So what you're saying is April 1st will be the best day to play Marvel's Avengers. Because everything will be unlocked.
It is the best.
What a great April Fool's Day.
Yeah, jump in and play it. Wow. Yeah. I guess it's interesting now that DC is now, or this Suicide Squad kills the Justice League is now, either leaked or will be future announced to be a game for service game, when their counterparts Marvel's has just
got cancelled,
failed and got cancelled. Like, it's just been trashed. I think that's a very interesting point, and shows. I don't know if it's maybe a bit of tone deafness from the Suicide Squad team, or
Rocksteady.
They maybe from Rocksteady. Sorry, I thought so.
I
didn't want to say.
I don't want to put all blame on Rocksteady, because this could be a thing where it's a publisher mandated inclusion for the game. I don't think it has to be we as designers want a battle pass.
From what you can see on the screenshot that was leaked, there is you're in a menu, you're picking what mission you're going to play, there's loadouts, there's character select, there's a battle pass option. It is very much I don't know, I always find that in games where there's this format, it feels like it breaks up a lot of the play, and it feels very not stagnant, but very kind of choppy in terms of its gameplay, because you're jumping in and out of this menu to start missions, and it makes the story don't feel like it flows as well. But yeah, I think we're in the period where, and I loved Marvel Avengers. I loved the story, what I played from it, and the time I spent with that game. But yeah, I was surprised to find out that they're going this direction. The battle pass itself, I think it's sure, if you want to support this game, or you really love this game when it comes out and you want to buy it, fuck it, buy it. But it's a bit of a pointless and just another way for them to make money and generate sales from this, which, for better or worse in many ways.
I think it's pretty interesting. I think it kind of gives us more hints as to what the actual gameplay of this game is going to be. And the more I think about it, the more I think it is Left 4 Dead, but with the Suicide Squad. It is going to be that type of gameplay. You're going through set missions, and it's sort of an overall campaign, but obviously it'll be broken up into smaller segments. Probably when you are fighting to different Justice League people and that kind of stuff, and you'll play through whatever member of the Suicide Squad is, and then you can go back and play the entire game again with a different character and kind of level them up or whatever with your friends. I think the key thing for this is it going to be fun to play by yourself, or if you don't have 4 people, is it going to be shitty matchmaking, or is it going to be good AI, or how's that all going to work? I still have faith in Rocksteady. Everybody's, of course, it's been a long time between drinks and that kind of stuff, so it's probably a very different team to the team that worked on the Arkham games, but I'm optimistic.
You're always optimistic about this fucking shit. I mean, it's funny because, from the outset, Gotham Knights looked like it was going to be this, the game with the battle pass and everything, but it wasn't. And in that game, you couldn't even. They didn't even have it where you could see the other person's character in the cutscenes. So, I mean, it doesn't. The bar's pretty low.
See, this one could have the opposite effect where you're only playing with 2 people, but there's suddenly 4 people there.
No, I mean, we've seen the cutscenes. There's definitely 4 characters in the cutscenes.
Yeah, but when you're actually playing, it could just be the 2 of you out there. You know what I mean?
That would be even worse. Let's continue on the superhero train, though. So, Marvel Snap has announced that on January 31st, Battle Mode is coming. Are you going to be excited for Battle Mode, Ash? So, Battle Mode is the versus where you and I can throw down. Finally, because that's the thing. The game, we've been playing this game for months. We've never actually played each other.
That's that we know of.
That we know. No, I would have seen your fucking name. What's your name of the game? So it's just your usual name. So you would have seen mine. It would have been just Viva La Dill would have popped up.
Well, sometimes I don't pay attention to the names.
You would have seen me talking smack. So, but the interesting thing about Battle Mode is it's completely different sort of rule sets to the normal version of the game. So when you come in, you're betting health. So you start with 10 HP each, and then as you play the hands, you can, say at the end, you're only bet. No one snaps. The loser of that round loses 1 HP, right? So then you go to round 2. Mm-hmm. Now, one person's got 9, one person's got 10. So it can go. The game can end in 2 rounds, 3 rounds. It could go for more. Once you get into round 5, they change it and they add in what's called high stakes rounds. So now it's doubled. So instead of starting at 1, it already starts at 2. So if you snap, it goes straight to 4. The other interesting thing is that you cannot bet any more health than what you have left. So if you've only got 2 left, you can't be betting 4 to try and get your opponent who's on 4 HP. You can only bet the maximum. So I think on the, like, just reading it, I'm like, this is a good way to do this. This doesn't feel like a just throw together, same rule set, like, let's just add a way to challenge your friends. This seems like well, how do we actually make a more competitive version of the game where, like, because the other thing is you're going to be versing the same person multiple rounds. So the first round,
with the same deck.
Yeah, well, you're gonna with the same deck. You can't change decks in between rounds. So the first time you play, you're getting to know your opponent's deck. Okay, so then you come in, they wipe you out with a Killmonger or some shit like that, and you're like, okay, Killmonger. So then when you go into round 2 or 3 and whatever else, now you're like, okay, do they have the Killmonger? Am I playing around the? You know what I mean? Like it adds. I think it adds an element to this game, like proper strategy to this game that we haven't really had before. What do you think, Ash? As the person who's still playing it the most around you?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting, and like obviously we love Marvel Snap for its quick matches, but to find a way to have probably more elongated.
Well, they're guessing 20 minutes is what they're guessing.
Yeah, if you're choosing to verse another person specifically, then you don't want to just have quick rounds or whatever. And also, I don't know what like the farming element of it would have been. It's like, I'll play against you, you play against me. We'll just retreat every single time. We'll just quickly work our way. Yeah. Or we'll just play the rounds as quickly as possible, like trying to farm
boosters and whatever else. And, challenges and whatever else. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it sounds cool. Maybe when it launches, we do a stream or something.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I feel like if this all works and like on paper, it sounds great to me, and maybe they'll have to tweak it after stuff comes out. Maybe some cards will have to be tweaked to work better in this mode, or some will be too strong or whatever else. But this definitely sounds
I can't imagine they would, because it's just the same mode. It's just you're betting.
You never know. I guess I can't think of anything, but I'm just saying, like,
it's like poker, really. I mean,
it could happen. Yeah.
This hand, you might have a shitty hand, but then the next hand, you play with the exact same cards, but you might have a good hand. So
this is the mode that leads to them having a competitive format that they could actually turn into a tournament, though. Is also the other thing. Like, this is the mode they can turn into an esport. This is the esport mode.
Potentially, yeah.
This is the potential esport mode. Like, this is the one where you can see people building competitive decks that have that aren't built to just combo off, that have options in there.
So what you're saying is we need to get on the ground floor here. Yeah. The Explosion Network Marvel Snap League.
Yeah, let's do it. Kieran, do you reckon you'll come back in for battle mode, or?
No, I feel like I'm at the point now. I feel like I'm just too far behind again.
So you can spend $150.
I don't know.
Catch up. You'll do it.
No, I'm good, Tar.
You sure?
I don't know if you are. I still see people with like they're bragging about their collector scores being like in the 1,000.
Yeah, I'm nearly at 4,000. I'm nearly at 4,000.
Yeah,
I'm at 3,900.
Well into the 3,000s. So.
Come on, get good, guys. Get good.
Cash me outside. Yeah.
Cash me outside. How about that? Continuing on the Marvel train, Kieran, are you going to be excited for Marvel Midnight Suns first DLC, where they add the Merc with the mouth? It's coming out on January 26th. It's going to add a couple new missions. Then you'll be able to recruit Deadpool. You can whatever you do in the game, where you be friends with him and grow that level and whatever else to be best buds. Excited for Deadpool?
I'd be interested to see how it fits in the game. Like, if it fits within a... You have to kind of restart the game or go back into an earlier point in the game.
You have to do a certain mission. To be able to recruit Deadpool, you need to beat the Act 1 mission, Spider-Man's, and then you have to beat a mission after that called a Man of Culture, and then you're able to recruit Deadpool.
Oh, okay. I guess how it... Yeah, I just guess how it integrates. I think the problem with these games, and Mass Effect had this problem as well with DLC characters, is that DLC characters just feel very bolt on, because they're there and in person for all the DLC missions, but if you were to play the game with knowing that their character's there, they are just not there for the rest of the game. Like, they just don't appear, they don't have...
You mean the story missions afterwards? Like,
yes, yeah. It depends how they integrate Deadpool into the whole game, and how...
So if you were to restart the game from the beginning, would Deadpool fit within the entire structure of the entire narrative? Yeah. Or would he just be a periphery figure the entire rest of the... If you're not doing his single
would we see him in cutscenes? Would we see him in...
Will he be at Magic's party?
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Will he...
Well, I feel like you can answer someone's going to answer these questions on January 26th.
Yeah, probably.
Someone's going to find this out.
I mean, either way, I'm probably just going to wait till all the characters are released.
Yeah, 100%.
And then go back and do like a full replay.
Yep.
Yeah. Do a dark replay.
You say that, and then you start playing live again.
Like, these healing powers are so good.
The DLC is called The Good, the Bad, and the Undead. You can purchase it separately, or it is available as part of the season pass, of course. So. Funny trailer though, if you haven't watched that. It's a typical Deadpool.
It's Nolan North, right?
Yeah, it's Nolan
I
North.
believe.
Yeah, it sounds like Nolan.
Yeah.
Nolan North always does Deadpool in the games, right? Kieran, I'm going to throw it to you. Explain this next thing to me. D&D will move something to
through our period of time, through the period of time off we had, Dungeons & Dragons has gone to shit, and Wizards of the Coast has.
Some would say they have been for a while, not just during the period. That. Yeah.
Yes, but all the goodwill and people's faith towards Dungeons & Dragons has royally been flushed down the toilet to the point where thousands and thousands of people were cancelling their D&D Beyond subscriptions. I had the mental note where I was like, yeah, I'll do that as well. I think mine's in a couple months. I woke up this morning and it had come out of my bank account. So
that was like a yearly sub.
I didn't.
Wow.
A yearly sub. I paid like $90.
Why didn't you just cancel it 2 months ago and it would have just cancelled now?
Well,
I don't mean to be smart, but you can cancel these things prior to like.
You can. I just thought I had more time, and I'm like,
more time
I'll do
than
it
2
later
months.
if I think of it time. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. They should have given you 6 months head up. That's fair.
Yeah, exactly. But no. So for the last 20 years, D&D has operated on the same open player license that has enabled people to use the D&D property and the D&D kind of game rules outside of the D&D franchise. So that enables all of the people like your Critical Roles, your Dungeon Dudes, your Grim Hollows, all those Kickstarters you see of people making their own D&D books that are kind of using the basis of 5th edition D&D. There's been an open license for that has allowed people to do that for a large period of time. Hasbro says Wizards of the Coast have decided don't want to do that anymore, and there was a email leak that described a new OPL that was coming out that stated things that were along the line of any products that used the D&D 5e rule set or anything of the sort. As soon as it made more than $750,000, Wizard of the Coast was entitled to 25% of all profits.
Yeah.
And
that'd be millions of dollars for Critical Role.
Yeah. And they were moving towards being able to shut down and take control of. So I think the new OPL actually stated that Wizard of the Coast could claim any content that was used as part of the OPL. So they could just take it for themselves
and use it for themselves.
And use it for their own books. If you created something and sold it in your book, they could freely just grab it. And that royally pissed a lot of people off and upset a lot of people in the D&D community. And it was largely seen as, of course, a very greedy move. And it caused, players across the world to be cancelling D&D Beyond subscriptions to the point where it forced Wizards to kind of start this new OPL 1.2 survey and discussion around its OPL, where it's now changing a lot of the wording and making itself a bit more open and kind of rolling back and stepping back on a lot of the problems. I think at the moment, a lot of people are now reading through the new OPL to see where are the pitfalls and where they may have hidden things. But it's very interesting to have another company kind of flush its goodwill down the toilet with a cash grab sort of attempted move. And you look at, D&D has grown and 5th edition has grown once again to the point it's in now because of places like Critical Role being able to use the open license. Because of your Grim Hollows and your Adventures guides and all these podcasts that do it. It's your amazing.
Tales of Theldon, yeah.
Yeah, and Tales of Theldon, yeah, exactly. We would fall under the same banner. It's
lucky.
Now for them,
we would have been screwed.
We would have been screwed. Now for them to now for them to retroactively go back and be like, well, we're changing it now. It's been 20 years. Now the D&D is successful again and people care about it again. We're going to now put our hands in the cookie jar. So it's an interesting point for D&D. A lot of people were already kind of up in arms, and people were already talking about, oh, we're moving to a different game system, or lots of people were looking for alternatives. And, you know, D&D has been built on games spawning from it, like Pathfinder is largely used and built on the open game license. So to see this, and then to see how this licensing then affects, you know, if this license was to go through and to work, how would that license then go for, say, games in general and Twitch streaming, or people making YouTube content?
Well, there's people, dipshit people
have been trying,
but people have been tweeting about this, going like trying to say certain developers and stuff have already said stuff in the past where they're like, Twitch streamers should be paying us money to stream our games and make money off us and all this sort of shit.
Yeah, so it kind of it's another feather in that cap and another step towards that kind of situation where the gaming landscape and our landscape as a whole would be very different. And luckily, at least somebody at Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, at least they're taking a step back and they're listening to their community and the money that they're losing. And hopefully it does a change for the better. But I don't think this is the last we've heard of it, and I don't think this is the last company that's going to do something like this.
Really looking forward to you know, companies like Pepsi coming after me for drinking their drinks on here and owe them money, and you know, every time you see someone using a fucking a big biro in a video that's monetized on YouTube, they should get like at least 0.5% of the money for that, right? That's like 100%. It's in the video and they're making money off it, so I feel like they should get some of the royalties off that. Legally, you know, like.
I mean, technically, legally, they may be.
Did that big biro ever sign a waiver to agree to be in that video? You know, like.
Yeah.
Did it? No, that's right. Okay, who's going to stand up for the pens?
Bluey the Blue Point pen coming to games near you, thanks to the Blue Point Studios.
GameSpot writes, a new report has claimed that longtime Halo developer 343 Industries is being taken off of quote-unquote active development of the Halo franchise, and that new games in the series will be created by third-party studios. According to Halo leaker Bathrobe Spartan, who has a solid track record leaking Halo inside information, and translated by Metro, Microsoft's mass layoffs have hit 343 Industries hard and will see up to a third of its workforce laid off. Veteran developer Joseph Staten is reportedly exiting the studio and will rejoin Xbox Publishing. 343 Industries will then take a parental role for Halo, overseeing new games and content while working on maintaining the game's engine. This is an entirely new territory for 343 Industries, as it has relied on outside help to develop Halo Infinite's multiplayer content. Season 2 is a prime example of this. But Bathrobe Spartan claims that the planned story-based DLC has been scrapped due to it being considered not cost-effective under 343's stewardship. A follow-up to Halo Infinite is also expected to enter pre-production alongside spin-off titles, with these games reportedly being franchised out to other studios and being developed on more modest budgets. While Halo Infinite had a strong launch, recent months have seen 343 Industries criticized for delayed content rollouts, tedious multiplayer progression, and numerous bugs. Controversially, 343 cancelled Couch Co-op, so could instead focus on developing Halo Infinite's live service features. Kieran, how do you feel about all the news surrounding 343 and Halo?
It feels fucking weird when you look at how Halo Infinite was originally sold or originally spoke about. Was like, this is the new platform for Halo going forward. This is going to be literally the infinite platform for Halo, that we're going to make all the Halo games on this. We're going to expand this world, grow this world. It's infinite. There's infinite possibilities coming from this. And then you listen to this stuff and you're like, no, that was never the plan. 343 had no intention of any story DLC for Halo Infinite, and before they even launched the original game. Like, of course, Halo Infinite was a mess, and there was a lot of people going back and forth, and different directors going in and out, and different visions being mixed in there. But there's clearly a lot of issues with this, and I think that's resulted in 343's own distance with it. Like, it's scary when you think about, okay, what's Microsoft's involvement with this? How much did they know what was going on? How much did they try and step in and correct this or to fix this? I think it not only damages, Halo Infinite going forward, but leaves Halo in a very weird spot, almost to a point where I kind of would love Microsoft to reboot Halo and to just chuck it to somebody else and just be like, start again. You've got the basic premises, you've got John Master Chief, you've got Cortana, go again. Just do what you can with this title, God of War it for us. I think that is the best option for Microsoft going forward with this franchise.
Ash, do you have any thoughts on Red vs.
I
Blue?
mean, it's disappointing, I guess, to see what was once Xbox flagship franchise kind of peter out, I guess, these last few years, you know. It feels like they've kind of bungled this entire thing, of course, you know, with the campaign being completely separate to Infinite and kind of Infinite not being supported as multiplayer being as supported as they wanted to in the first 12 months. And then, of course, you've got the Halo TV show, which kind of... are they still making a second season?
I thought they said
got
they were.
greenlit.
It got greenlit, so I think they are, yeah.
But nobody liked it, so...
Well, I don't know. No games fans liked it. I think it was viewed well, though. So
I think they probably had good views on Paramount Plus.
yeah.
Like,
I feel like the
They probably had the
non-Halo
highest-
hardcore fans actually enjoyed it. And I mean, I wouldn't mind going back and finishing it because I didn't hate it.
dude, Master Chief had sex.
Yeah, I didn't hate it, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, you know? And it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. I mean, has Halo been as good as with 343 as it was with Bungie? Probably not. So, you know, let somebody else have a crack at the franchise, I guess.
Not to take it back to that Jason Schreier book, but really interesting story I learned listening to that book. Shout out to Jason Schreier. I love how I'm talking about a book he wrote like 10 years ago, I feel. But they cover he covers Halo, what's it called, Wars? Like the RTS one? Is that what it's called? Halo Wars? Yeah. And the behind the scenes of that game is funny because that studio, I can't remember the name now, but they were just trying to make like a RTS but on a console, and then Xbox is like, yeah, but we'll green light it, but it's got to be Halo because Halo's the biggest thing in the world, so we need to make it Halo. And then, of course, that studio's trying to write a Halo story, but then Bungie's like, no, yeah, you can do, like, you know, they're having strict control over the law and everything like that. So it feels like listening to this and the world of Halo at that time compared to where Halo is now, where I don't even know if Xbox fucking cares about Halo. You know what I mean? It's so weird. It's like, it used to be the golden child protected at all costs. Now it's like, what's a Master Chief? You know?
It's like one of Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriends once it turns 22.
No, over 30. 29,
30,
20 years the last year of good, and then 30, fucking, off you go. Take your bags and fuck off. Too old for me now. Last news story, I just want to say we're getting our first, is everyone excited for our first official showcase stream thing that's coming up this week? So Xbox is doing a showcase. I like this. I'm all for non-surprisory sort of events where preemptively they're like, here's what we're talking about, because then I think that's good behavior. Then you can know if you care or not. So Xbox is doing a show. It's called Developer Direct. They're going to be going over the future of games such as Elder Scrolls Online, Forza Motorsport, Minecraft Legends, and Redfall. You can tune into this on Thursday, January 26th at 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Sorry?
Lovely timing. Public holiday. So
I'll be at work still, but that's totally fine. Yeah.
That's fine. You earn that money.
So, yeah.
You get that cash.
Earn that cash. But I mean, we will open later, and this is at 7, so I will have time to watch it and hopefully write about it. I'm keen though. Obviously, I don't really care about Elder Scrolls Online. That's fine. I'll still sit there and watch it, and so that's fine. But
it means when your alarm goes off and you look at it and it's 7 o'clock, you can go.
I can turn it on and make a coffee at the same time. Like I can.
Yeah, you can.
You don't know if it's going to be first.
That's true. I mean,
but
it'll 100% be first. It's 100%
has to be first.
It's going to be
in alphabetical order.
Nah, it's going to be first. 100% first.
It's going to be first.
It's going to be first.
I'm not putting a bet on it because it'll be wrong, but it's going to be first.
I reckon
it's not going to be first.
What do you reckon's first?
If
you say Redfall,
I reckon Minecraft. Minecraft first.
You dumb bros.
You're dumb. But I care about.
Dumb.
So I don't care about Elder Scrolls, but all 3 other things, I'm down to. Like obviously, we're all keen for Redfall. I'm really keen for Minecraft Legends. I think that has potential to be a lot of fun. And obviously, I'm really keen for Motorsport as well to find out how that's shipping along. So, anyone else keen to watch this or like keen for the games they're going to show you? Or,
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Ash?
It's nice to have one so early in the year. Normally it's Nintendo, so it's like
I mean, I'm still waiting for the Nintendo. I mean, that's we usually get one maybe early February, or something. I feel like we're sort of due for something. So.
They could do a Nintendo and just randomly be like, "Yo, tomorrow, this time."
Well, that's the thing. Like
nerds.
Nintendo, they don't give weeks up. They give 48 hours. Like
they're like, no, they give a bro.
Yeah, bro. Guess what? 48 hours from now, we're doing an event.
Yep.
They don't give weeks, no. So.
Even that, there's like, hey, guess what? Right now, we're in the middle of an event. Guess what?
Yeah.
Didn't even realize it.
Fucking, they just run in with a camera. Because, what's his fuck? Bowser's in Japan at the moment. So, everyone's, the theory is. Doug Bowser. The theory is, I know, good joke. The theory is Doug Bowser's in Japan because they're filming they're filming stuff. They're doing a direct. It could just be, he's there to discuss things because he's the fucking president of Nintendo America, but.
Could be.
That would also make a lot of sense.
We could be just having a holiday.
Could just be having a holiday. Who the fuck?
Could just be having a holiday.
I mean, based off everything that Reggie said in his book, I don't think you get a holiday if you're the fucking president of Nintendo. I don't think that's the thing. So, all right, that'll do it for the first official episode of Arcade Couch for 2023. I hope you enjoy having us back in your ear holes. I'm glad to be in there wiggling around like a good old brainworm coming out of you, like the thing they have in the Matrix. But you're not going to get me out.
Yuck,
that's right. Let us know how excited you are to have us back by tweeting us or joining our Discord, explosionnetwork.com/Twitter, explosionnetwork.com/Discord. If you want to support the show this year, head on over to explosionnetwork.com/support to buy us a coffee. And see you here next week, same time, same couch. Goodbye.